All right, we'd like to welcome you into the Basehor-Linwood High School here. St. James up 7-0 on the Bobcats, but Bobcats are at the 1-yard line right now. Just a minute 30 left in the first quarter here. Bobcats started with the ball on offense, ended in a 3-and-out on their first drive. St. James got it back, big-time drive with a touchdown pass about 40 yards from Basehor to Neeson, who was questionable heading into this game. And now the Bobcats have gotten the ball back after both teams have attempted to punt. St. James punts off their own guys, so Bobcats started their drive at the 11, now are down at the 2. It is 3rd and 1 on the right hash. It's going to be a reverse to the receiver, and he's stuffed. What a play by the Thunder, and a big stop on 3rd down, a loss of 1 for the Bobcats.
And that's exactly the goal line stand you're looking for, right? You know, you turn the ball over, they get it at the 11-yard line, and you're able to hold them. And it's a 4th and 1 now, but you're able to hold them at the 1-yard line 3 times in a row. It just shows that toughness from that defensive line.
Yeah, and we'd like to obviously apologize for our technical difficulties. As you know, this is a radio broadcast we are doing right now tonight, so we'll try to do our best to keep you informed. Here, a 4th and 2. Dropping is the quarterback, goes to his back, out of the backfield. I don't think he got there in a big-time stop. That's Hank Schreiner out of the flat. He passes to the running back, and Schreiner stops him a yard short.
And it's great recognition by Schreiner there. Sees the running back flushed out to the right side and does a nice job of getting over there and giving pursuit quick.
All right, so now St. James starts at their own 4-yard line. Their last drive didn't go great. A sack of Basehor set him back many yards. They had to punt from inside their own 20, and like I just mentioned a moment ago, Boydston punts it off his own guy after a bad snap, and Basehor started at the 11, didn't make anything from it. Now St. James looks to put up some more points after scoring on the first drive. It's a handoff to Tujak, up the middle, bursts into the second level, going for a first down past the 15 up to the 17-yard line. A big run of 13 for Tujak.
That's a great job up front by the offensive line, and that's something we've talked about this whole year long. They do a nice job blocking there and giving Tujak a nice path to run through.
17 seconds are left in the first quarter here. St. James doesn't have to run a play. They will. Handoff, Tujak, 2-back set. They get 5 with Tujak up the middle, and 2 straight runs up the middle with John Tujak to start out this drive. And that will be it for the first quarter. So St. James 7, Bobcats nothing. Guys, let's recap this first quarter a little bit. Like I just mentioned, St. James, a nice 3-and-out against the Bobcats to start. But since then, Bobcats offense looked pretty good. Jonathan, what are you kind of seeing as some of the successes so far for Basehor's offense, even though they don't have any points?
It's been the short pass game. They've been getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick. It's been a lot of those. And also the QB draw game. We've seen lots of runs from the quarterback. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier how we went almost 7-8 minutes without the running back getting the ball, who is a very talented running back, 700 yards on the season. You'd expect him to get involved early, but they've been going with the quarterback. Everything's been running through him. It's been the short passing game, and they were able to drive down the field pretty well, just unable to convert.
Yeah, absolutely, and you mentioned it there. Not a lot of use of Nick Doring, the senior running back, but the quarterback, Carson Dixon, the junior, he's looked really good for Basehor. Meanwhile, St. James scores on their first drive. Haven't done much since. Graham, how can St. James get back to that success on offense? All right, so now it's going to be 2nd down and 4. St. James will have the ball at the 23-yard line. As the second quarter begins. Puhala on the hip of Basehor, Tujak behind him, with the receiver at tight end being Chase. It looks like there's some confusion on the field now. They're going to restart the play. Tujak is flexed to the right. Basehor. It's going to be a run to the left, and a flag comes out onto the field. It looks like it's going to back St. James up 5. It's going to be a 2nd down and 9 now. It's going to be a false start on the offense, so 2nd and 9 now. St. James has the ball at their own 18-yard line. Let's see what they can do here. Puhala heads out of the game. Wonder heads in. So back to the 1 running back set for the Thunder with the 4 wide receivers. That's like how they like to play personnel-wise, and that's how they'll be lined up here. They've got the bunch to the close side on the right. Jet singled up on the top at the left. Snap. It's going to be play action. Rush coming. He's going deep to Neeson. Incomplete. Double coverage is where he threw it into, right over the middle, and a nice play. That's Cole Hofer with the stop for the Bobcats.
I like to see the aggression again from Basehor. Obviously you guys didn't hear it, but Neeson did score his first touchdown on about a 50-yard completion. And I do love to see them trying to get the ball to Neeson. As Will said, he was questionable coming in, did not practice Wednesday or Thursday with a back injury that was bugging him. But he told me yesterday he was going to drug up and push through. So it's good to see him out there. That is a direct quote from Sam. I'm not ad-libbing that. He did tell me that.
And now it's 3rd and 9, 4-man rush. Basehor looking over the middle to Chase. It's incomplete. It looked like Chase kind of got a little tug right as the ball was released by Basehor over the middle, and that made Chase just a step behind the ball. And now it's a 4th down, and St. James is going to punt.
Unfortunate that St. James is going to have to punt here. They had options, on that deep ball to Neeson. It looked like Basehor maybe had Wonder on a nice little 15-yard out route, but St. James, the special teams woes have continued in this game. They've got to be able to turn that around here.
So it's going to be a 4th and 9. St. James will punt. They hope to get this one off. Going to his right. It's going to be a fake over the middle. Chase, incomplete. St. James takes a risk, and Basehor defended it perfectly. It was a jump ball for Chase over the middle, and Basehor won. So Basehor will start at the 17 in St. James territory. An absolute nightmare for the Thunder.
And again, I don't hate the aggression from the Thunder. Obviously they feel confident in their ability on offense. They feel confident that they are better than this Basehor team, but it's just some of these early plays, the ball hasn't bounced their way. They've maybe been a little over-aggressive at times.
So 7-0 is the score. Basehor will begin the drive at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Dixon, the quarterback, daring the running back. Man in motion across the formation. They're going to go to him. Quick pass to the outside. Only gets a few. Boone sniffs it out. The receiver there, Austin Adair, one of their dynamic playmakers. They tried to get him the ball all over the field, and he got 3 on the quick pass to the right.
There's that quick pass game again that's definitely in Basehor's game plan this week. They want to get the ball out. They don't want to force the quarterback to sit back there and have to make, some of these more complicated reads against this talented Thunder defense in the secondary. They want to get the ball out quick and let their playmakers go make a play in space.
2nd and 7 on the right hash. Basehor begins. It's going to be a direct run to the left with the quarterback, Dixon. St. James trying to sniff it out, bouncing it outside. He gets, it looks like, about 5, right up to the 1st down marker. It's going to be a yard short. Nice gain of 6 on the run with Dixon. That means it's a 2nd and 1 now, ball at the 10-yard line. Or rather, a 3rd and 1, ball at the 10-yard line. And Basehor going a bit quicker tempo here. Let's see if they snap the ball. Man in motion across to the right. Ball on the left hash. Revis, the man in motion, and it's a timeout called by Basehor. Now they obviously understand the importance of this play and want to make sure they get it right.
For sure. They were already down inside the red zone one time and were unable to convert. So they definitely want to make sure they're taking advantage of this because that's a lot of points. That's 14 points you're leaving on the table if you come away scoreless again. And in a playoff game as important as this, that cannot be happening, especially against a talented Thunder team. You're probably the underdog in this game. You can't be leaving points on the table.
Absolutely. And, it's the Basehor team you mentioned. The one drive they had, they got it about 60 yards downfield, didn't come away with any points after the 4th down stop you just heard a moment ago. But Basehor, that drive was a lot of those short passes, like you said, and they can't really do that in the red zone. Part of the reason for those short passes is the St. James secondary. Connor Skahan made a couple great plays on the outside. One memorable one with a contested catch. He went up and knocked it out of the receiver's hands on a big 3rd down play. So that was huge for the Thunder. And now let's see if they go back to that short pass game or keep it on the ground here. It's going to be a 3rd and 1 from the 9-yard line, or just in front of the 10 rather, from the left hash. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right, tight end on the right. Daring the running back. Straight power with Dixon, the quarterback, up the middle. He got a 1st down up into the 5-yard line, and a nice gain for the Bobcats on 3rd down, getting them to a 1st and goal situation.
This is another opportunity for that Thunder defense, kind of this bend but don't break situation. You've got 4 downs to keep them out of the end zone. The defensive line play has been strong so far, but this is their real test. When you get down in the trenches, can you come out on top when it matters?
They already got one stop inside their own 5. Let's see if St. James can do it again here. It's going to be a read option, keep by Dixon, and it is snuffed out by Dreiling. A big loss of 3, a tackle for loss by Dreiling.
Aiden Dreiling does a great job shedding the block from the tackle and able to get to Dixon on the RPO, on the read option, rather. And you love to see Aiden Dreiling. You know, that was going to be my Shield's X factor of the game, was the defensive ends, Aiden Dreiling, Max Arquette. Aiden Dreiling's come up with a few big plays early in this game. You love to see that confidence, kind of the swagger that he's been playing with recently.
2nd and goal now from the 8-yard line. 8 seconds are on the play clock. It's going to be a handoff to Daring. Daring, it's snuffed out by Bevitt. A big stop. They tried to go to the left, and Bevitt hit him in the backfield for a loss of 1. So now it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 9. They tried the power run, and it did not work. Third and goal from the 9. Empty backfield. Drop back, quick pass, trying to go outside. It's incomplete. Nobody was there. The receiver stopped the route early. He tried to throw the fade to the back corner, and it didn't end up complete.
Looked just like a big miscommunication there from Dixon to his receiver. Could not get it to convert. Brings up a 4th down. Looks like they'll go for 3.
Yeah, so the field goal unit is on now for Basehor-Linwood. This will be their first attempt of the day. Colin Zimbelman, the kicker now for the Bobcats of Basehor-Linwood. He'll be kicking from the left hash. It's a 27-yard field goal attempt for the Bobcats. Down 7-0. Bobcats looking to add some points on the board. Good snap and hold. St. James almost blocks it, but they are unable to. And it's going to go through for 3. So Basehor gets their first points of the night. Score right now is 7-3. St. James still on top with just 8:50 to go in the first half. And a nice job by Basehor there. They take advantage of the missed punt, or the missed fake punt by the Thunder, and Basehor puts up 3 on the board.
Yeah, I think you kind of bring up a good point. Well, for this game, for St. James, I think taking care of the football is going to be kind of your key to winning this game. You know, I think that most of our players know we've got a lot of talent. You know, we had a big win last week against Blue Valley. We're kind of feeling it. We're kind of rolling. You've got to be able to take care of that football and make sure not to overlook this game. You know, sometimes it's easy to do when you beat an opponent that is maybe better. Then you move on. You think, oh, we maybe don't have to play as hard. But St. James has got to take care of the things they need to take care of, and they've got to be able to take care of the ball at #1 priority.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, and really the big thing is the special teams game for the Thunder. Both turnovers have come on 4th down out of the punt. One, a punt that goes off of one of the blockers, Pattison, I believe, for the Thunder. The other, a missed attempt on a fake punt. So special teams, they've plagued the Thunder all year. They're still plaguing them now. Zimbelman will be on to kick off for the Bobcats. The sophomore will be kicking to Tujak and Chase, lined up at the 5-yard line. High kick now from Zimbelman. It's caught at the 10 by Tujak, and he's going to bring it out. Here goes Tujak along to his left, going up to the sideline, and he's going to be down at the 29. A solid return for the Thunder, and now that's where they'll start their drive at the 29. You know, St. James, they got a great score on their first one. This is the first time they're going to have field position where they aren't backed up a ton now since they've gotten that touchdown drive. Let's see what they can do with it here.
I think they need to try and get this run game going, Will. I mean, obviously on the first drive, when you score on the big passing play, you want to try to hit that again and again. But you got to go back to the basics if you find that those pass plays aren't working. They didn't really work on that last drive, so I'd like to see maybe some of that short pass game, some of that run game that's worked for them all season long.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. Give to Tujak. Stretch run to the right. He's only going to get a couple up to the 30. It's a 1-yard gain on the run to Tujak, and now it's going to be a 2nd down and 9 for the Thunder.
Yes, and the Thunder offense just needs to remain consistent and steadfast in their drives, just getting the first down. Don't look downfield every single play. Just be consistent on offense, get yards, and go put up points.
That's definitely the goal for the Thunder. It's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 30. 2 receivers on both sides of Basehor. Snap going to his left now is Basehor looking. And it's picked off. It's tipped and picked by the Bobcats, and he's going to try to bring it back. That was Nate Martin, the two-way player, with the interception. Basehor was rolling to his left, looked to go to Bruggeman, just a bit too much touch on that one. Martin tipped it up to himself and brought it down, and now Basehor has it back inside St. James 30, and they're looking to put up their first lead of the night.
And overall, just an amazing defensive play. That wasn't a terrible ball by Basehor. Just number one just picked it up and took it.
So now ball at the 29 for the Bobcats, and Martin, he's already back out there on offense, one of the leading receivers for this Bobcats team, making a tremendous play on the defensive end there. Now it's going to be at the right hash from the 29. The Bobcats look to get their first lead of the night on this drive, down 7-3 with just 8:02 left. Quick drop back. Dixon, he's going for it all, going deep, and it's caught. Wow, what a play by the Bobcats. It's a touchdown there. That's Nash Morrison. The junior 6'4" receiver goes and gets it against Drury, and it's a touchdown for Basehor.
And that's just a beautiful throw by Nixon. He sees the one-on-one coverage at the top against Drury, and he takes advantage. Drury just gets beat by just a step there. Dixon's able to put it drop a perfect ball right in the breadbasket. No safety hope from Drury. Got to wonder if that's maybe a little bit of a miscommunication. I know St. James in this cover 4, obviously that is Ben Drury's zone, but that safety, if there's no one to help out on, should be over there. But nonetheless, a great throw and catch from Dixon.
So now Zimbelman will be on to kick his first PAT of the night. It's going to be a fake. They're going to run it up the middle, and he's tripped up. They tried to run it up the middle with the holder there. Dixon, the quarterback, was holding, or no, not Dixon. That was Morrison, rather, who just scored the touchdown. They tried to run it right up the middle with him. It did not work. He tripped over his own feet. So the score, Bobcats 9, St. James 7.
And that's another aggressive play we're seeing. St. James tries to do the fake punt, and they fail it. Basehor-Linwood takes advantage of the turnover, is able to get a touchdown, and then they fake the PAT, and they miss it. You're seeing a lot of aggression. Both teams know just how important this game is and how much, those 1 or 2 extra points can really mean. Those extra possessions will mean everything in a game like this, especially if it becomes close down the stretch.
Absolutely. You do not want a miscommunication or a miscalled play like that to haunt you later on.
Yeah, and both teams already have tried a fake in the special teams unit. It has not worked for either side. So you have to imagine that is something both sides are going to be looking for now. Probably aren't going to have to worry about anymore. Basehor will be kicking off from the 40 now. It'll be Zimbelman once again. It's going to be Chase and Tujak now returning for the Thunder. Lined up at the 5. St. James had the 7-0 lead. They've been looking good all night, but this second quarter has been the Bobcats. It's a good kick from Zimbelman. It's going to be out of the end zone, and so St. James will start their drive at the 20. Last drive for the Thunder ended in a Basehor INT. The last 3 drives have all ended in interceptions. St. James needs to avoid that on this one.
Absolutely. Like I said, St. James has got to take care of the ball in this game. They need to get the offense back into that rhythm that they looked like they were in on the first drive and give a response to Basehor to try and take back some of the momentum of this game.
So it's going to be 1st and 10, ball at the 20-yard line for the Thunder. Tujak to back, 2 receivers on both sides of Basehor. And it's going to be an offsides on Basehor-Linwood. St. James fooled him well there. That's R.J. Madrigal, the nose tackle for Basehor, jumping offsides. He's right over the ball, but thought it was snapped before it actually was there, and it results in a 5-yard penalty. So St. James will have it now, 1st down and 5. .757 remains in the first quarter. St. James back in the same set they were just in. Wander in motion going to the right. Handoff, Tujak up the middle. He's got some room to run up into the second level, past the 35, and an easy 1st down for the Thunder, a gain of 11 for Tujak.
Great play call there by the Thunder offense, getting Tujak a hole up the middle. Defense could not stop him, get it to 1st down. Good momentum starting this drive.
Yeah, good first play by St. James, and that paired with the penalty gets them 16 yards, so a nice start for the Thunder. All right, so 2 receivers on both sides of Basehor again. Ball on the right hash. It's going to be A clunky handoff there to Tujak, trying to go outside, and he cannot. He gets a couple of yards, ripped down. Kyle Burnett, number 2, the senior D-back, in on the tackle there. Still a gain of 3. It should have been less. And that's where St. James is, a 2nd down and 7 now at the 38.
This Basehor defense has been feisty as of late. 27, Will Howard, I have noticed, has been everywhere on the field, in the backfield, in the coverage. He's just been amazing so far. Definitely a leader on this Basehor-Linwood defense.
Yeah, Howard sharing the name of the former K-State, now Ohio State quarterback Will Howard. The linebacker certainly looking maybe a little more talented than the quarterback so far. It's going to be a 2nd down and 7 now for St. James. Puhala motion to the right, drop back. It's going to be a QB draw with Basehor going up the field, and he's going to get to the 42 before he's driven back. So only getting a few on the QB draw, and it's going to be 3rd and medium for the Thunder.
And that's kind of part of the St. James offense that they've gone to a lot this season that they've found success in, is that QB draw game. You know, we saw it with Basehor before the injury, and then we really saw it pick up with McGeeney back there at quarterback, kind of with his shiftiness. Now they've kind of dialed it back a little, but they still go to it with Basehor. He is a capable runner, but this brings up a 3rd and 4, and St. James has got to find a way to pick up the 1st down here.
Yeah, St. James has talked about, you know, this is going to be a big part of the game plan this week, the draw game. They tried to go to it there. Drop back. Basehor, quick pass to Chase and out to the left, and he is hit hard. That is Burnett stopping him a couple short of a 1st down, and now it's 4th and 2, and a big decision waits the Thunder.
That was a great defensive play by Burnett there, forcing the 4th down. Just clutch on defense for Basehor.
St. James ran the quick out to Chase going to the left. They had a couple of blockers, but Burnett sneaks by. The offense is going to stay on the field. Do you think that's the right choice here, Johnson?
I think it is. You know, it's 4th and 2. I think you've got a pretty decent chance at picking up the 2 yards here. Obviously, I would say you kind of go to a little screen pass here, but that didn't work so well on the last play. So we'll see what St. James dials up here, but I like this decision. I like the aggression from St. James.
Mangini motion across. Drop back, Basehor, quick pass. It's batted down. What a stop there, and the Bobcats have the momentum. A big 4th down stop for Basehor.
It's just kind of been a worst-case scenario so far for St. James. You know, you failed fake punt, an interception, and then a batted pass on 4th down. This is a sloppy game overall from the St. James offense. Defense hasn't been so bad, too bad so far, but they've got to find a way to get back into the rhythm on offense.
Yeah, and batting that ball down, it was Nate Martin. So the guy that had the INT the drive prior gets the big stop on 4th down. Now Basehor has it inside St. James 45 at the 43. It's going to be a drop back. Looking to the back, no, going to the receiver rather, Morrison, a gain of 12 for a Basehor 1st down along the boundary.
And there's Basehor again picking on Drury towards the St. James student section side of the field. Clearly they like the matchup over there. They're going to him a lot. And you got to think Basehor, they're really starting to feel it now. They've got a lot of momentum. I'd probably try to expect some more big plays here. The crowd's really getting into it.
Now it's going to be a 1st down, ball at the 32. Just 5:14 remains. Basehor's up 9-7. Man in motion. Quick pass. It's going to be a swing out to the left. Tries to beat Hornback one-on-one, and that is not going to work. A nice gain of a couple for Adair on the swing pass, but a nice job by Hornback sniffing it out and getting the stop.
And you're seeing a lot of motion. Well, you're not seeing, but there's a lot of motion going on this Basehor-Linwood offense, and that really kind of helps them pick apart this St. James zone. You know, when they motion a guy over, all of a sudden they've created a numbers advantage on one side of the field, and they've been trying to use that to get the ball to that guy, and then they've got 2 blockers on 2 defensive backs for their offense, and they're just trying to let them go make a play.
Spread formation now, back, motion to the right, drop back with the 5 wide. It's going to be a run up with Dixon. He evades, gets a couple out of the pass play. He runs forward to the right and only gets a couple, so it's a 3rd and long now for Basehor.
And I've noticed this quarterback, Carson Dixon, has just been slippery in the pocket. Just seems to be evading St. James defenders just a little bit faster than them.
And it looks like an injury timeout now for the Thunder. Believe that is Boone down for St. James. Hard to tell from over here, but definitely a St. James player down right now.
It's hard to tell what really happened. You know, obviously the quarterback went to slide. There was multiple St. James defenders kind of in the vicinity. Maybe a head injury. Could think of possible concussion. Maybe he's got his ankle landed on. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell, especially from up here. Definitely don't want to speculate too much, but Boone laying down right around where Dixon was brought down. Definitely a scary sight to see for the Thunder.
Yeah, what a big loss that would be if he would be unable to return this game. You know, leading tackler from that strong safety outside linebacker position. Really done a great job for St. James this year. He's been a very versatile defender, a guy they've really moved around. They've brought him inside the box. They drop into coverage a lot. You know, he's responsible for those running backs out of the flat. So that would be a big loss if he is unable to return. He is able to walk off the field under his own power, so that's definitely a good sign.
Absolutely, and 3rd and 7, Graham, this is a big play for Basehor. What are they going to try to do on this 3rd and 7?
3rd and 7, you're looking past, but then I don't see Daring on the field right now. Definitely could be anything here. The playbook is almost wide open.
Yeah, Peter Rodriguez, the sophomore running backup, is in the game. We haven't seen much of Daring, despite, like we mentioned earlier, almost 700 yards and 11 touchdowns on the year. It's going to be 3rd down and 6. 4:20 on the clock. Drop back, 4-man rush. Moving up in the pocket to the left, trying to look. He's going to run. Does he have the first? He does. He gets by Schreiner, makes him miss, and gets the first down, knocked out of bounds inside the 20.
Boy, Dixon is an athlete. You know, when a quarterback is outrunning Hank Schreiner, your senior linebacker out there, one of the quickest guys on this defense, that's how you know you're dealing with a very nice athlete. He's been all over the field. He's been making accurate passes. He's been involved in the run game, the scrambling game. Like Graham referred to earlier, his movement around the pocket has been very clean. He hasn't really been close to being sacked on this drive.
So it's 1st and 10 now at the 20-yard line. Dixon going to read option, give to Daring this time. He gets a couple. Max Riquette making the stop for the Thunder, and it's going to be 2nd down and 8.
2 yards on the game.
I think St. James is just going to have to settle down a little bit in this game. You know, you're down 9-7, but really this is about as bad as this first half could have gone, and you're only down 9-7. And there's a lot of stuff you can clean up for the second half. So I think if they could maybe hold Basehor to another field goal here, you like your chances into the second half.
Yeah, and Boone did just return to the field, so good to see him active and healthy for the Thunder. Now it's going to be 2 receiver set, both sides. Drop back, quick pass. It's batted down by the Thunder. Pass there was intended for a dare, a post over the middle, and it's going to be falling incomplete. Now a 3rd down and long again for Basehor.
That was the first throw I've seen from Dixon that just did not look good. That ball died right out of the hands. Definitely not what you want to see from your quarterback, but hence his good plays going forward.
Yeah, and kind of hard to tell. You know, it looked like the sort of ball that would have been tipped, but I didn't really see anybody tip the ball, so maybe just an underthrow there from Dixon. It's going to be a 3rd and 8 now, a big play for Basehor with just 3:30 left in the first half. St. James brings a blitz from the outside. It's going to be a draw with Daring. Daring has some room to run up into the end zone, and Basehor surprised St. James with the run and gets the touchdown. A very, very delayed draw to Daring, the running back. St. James had almost sacked the quarterback when he handed it off to Daring, but the great play there, Daring running along the sideline and punching it in.
And it worked out beautifully. They ran it right to the area that Aiden Drawling brought the blitz from. There was no one over there except for Connor Scahan, who was involved, who was being blocked downfield into the end zone. And really just a nice play call from Basehor. They take advantage of St. James' aggression in the blitz, and they're able to punch it in for 6.
So Zimbelman on for his 2nd PAT attempt of the night, or his 1st attempt rather, after the fake last time. It is up and true. So 16 Basehor, 7 St. James. And I got to tell you, especially with how the first couple drives went, this could not be how anybody would have guessed this game would have started. And now with just 3:25 left in the first half, St. James needs to find an answer fast. And today's trivia question is presented by our local NIL partner, Athletic Solutions. In SJ's last 3 playoff wins against Basehor-Linwood, how many points did the offense average? We'll have that answer for you at the end of the half or beginning of the 3rd quarter. St. James, like I just mentioned there, they've won against Basehor 3 straight times in the playoffs. I believe the wins were 2019, 2020, the COVID year, and then in 2022 as well. St. James obviously wanting to get that 4th straight win in the playoffs in just 6 years, 7 years tonight, but not off to a good start so far. Now it's going to be 3:25 on the clock. Zimbelman will be kicking off. Both teams have had some miscues in special teams game early on. St. James, obviously, we've talked about it all year up in the booth here, has had many, many issues in this special teams game. Also of note in the kicking game, there is a little bit of a wind here, probably coming at about 15 miles an hour coming from the bottom to the top here, so going laterally to the field. It's going to be kicked by Zimbelman, caught at the 10 by Tujak. He's going to go up to his right now. Tujak looking for some room, doesn't have much. He's going to get past the 20 up to the 23, and that's where St. James will be here.
And here's St. James' opportunity, right? You've got 3:20 left on the clock. You're down by 9. You've got the ball. You need a good, solid drive here. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You've got all 3 of your timeouts, but you've got to find a way to get down the field, to get some momentum back on your side, to come a little bit closer in this game. Try to make this a more manageable game coming out of halftime, because you do get the second half kickoff.
Absolutely, and this Basehor defense looks fired up. Definitely a make-or-break moment here for their defense going into the half, especially with St. James receiving the second half kickoff. 2
backs for St. James. Parker Chase, the tight end, on the right. Fullback on the left. It's going to be a give to Tujak. Running for it, still on his feet. Gets 4, maybe 5. A nice, tough run by Tujak. We've seen St. James go that run up the middle with Tujak a few times to start their drive, and it goes for 5 there on first.
And that run up the middle has been working pretty well for the Thunder. They're probably averaging 4 to 5 yards a carry on that. And that's something that I said I'd love to see them kind of build their offense off of. And they've done a little bit of that. They've been going to that a little bit more. They've just got to find a way to get that pass game back to where it has been this season.
Tujak motioned out. It's going to be a give to Puhala, the fullback this time. Puhala brought back. It's not going to be a gain, maybe a loss of 1 or 2. In on the tackle there, 6'1", 300 Jack Loft, the D tackle, helping make the contribution there. He's going to be down at the 30-yard line. Now it's going to be 3rd down and about 4. Looked like he maybe gained a yard there for the Thunder.
And this is something else. St. James's conversion rate on 3rd down has not been good at all. They've probably only converted 1 in this game, if that. So they've got to find a way to move the chains, to keep this drive alive so that they can answer these 16 unanswered from Basehor.
2 receivers on both sides of Beshore. Tujak behind him. Good snap. Drop back, look for the quick pass. He's going to run it instead. Spin move, and he falls right at the line. Let's see if they give him a 1st down or not. And they do. So what a run by Beshore in the open field, making the backer miss with the spin move. And now with just 2 minutes left, St. James going a little quicker here.
Nice play by Beshore, facilitating, getting the 1st down for his team.
Yeah, really nice move. We've seen those moves from both Mingini and Beshore at quarterback all year long. It's going to be a pitch to Tujak going to the right here. He's going to try to get out of bounds, and he will. Takes a hit there. It's going to be a gain of a few, maybe 4, looks like 5 yards. So it's 2nd down and 5 now. Clock stops. Or no, clock is still going. Looks like it should have stopped. For some reason, clock's still running. A minute 39 is, or ball at the 39 rather. Minute 28 and counting. That clock definitely should have stopped. Tujak definitely stepped out there. He's flexed to the left. It's going to be a quick pass. Out route to Chase. Bobbles and caught. And he's pushed out right around the 50-yard line. It's going to be a 1st down for St. James. And the clock stops now with a minute 18 left.
And here it is. This drive has been looking a lot better so far. They've gone to that run game. They've gone to that short pass game. Their offense just looks a little bit more settled in than it has in some of these previous drives. They still got 50 yards to go. Minute 18 left through timeouts. It's definitely doable, but they've got to keep taking what this Basehor defense is giving them.
So ball at the 50 on the right hash. 2 receivers on both sides of Beshore. He's been going to Neeson and Chase almost exclusively tonight. Let's see if he keeps doing that here. Drop back, good protection. Deep ball to Neeson. It's caught down at the 24 over the middle. He had all kinds of room, and it is caught by Neeson. Burnett in coverage. No match for Neeson.
With the clock winding down in the half, it's good to get a play to just get into the red zone so you can run a conservative drive for the rest of the minute left of this half. Great play by Beshore.
Timeout's going to be called by Basehor here. An interesting strategic choice. Both teams had 3 timeouts left. Basehor uses the timeout, not St. James here. So Basehor wants to get the ball back if St. James scores here, and that's an interesting decision made because obviously if St. James can't get a score in the next few plays, that could come back to bite Basehor, giving St. James more time.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because, you know, with them taking a timeout, it's almost them saying that they think St. James is going to score here and they want as much time to try and go score again. But this really isn't a gimme. You know, the ball's at the 23-yard line. They would have had a minute and 9 seconds and the clock would have been running.
And an answer now to our Athletic Solutions trivia question earlier. Our trivia question was, in the last 3 St. James wins against Basehor in the playoffs, how many points did the offense average? The answer today, fellas, is 42. So that is quite a lot of points St. James averaged. St. James only has 7 right now in the first half. I think that has to be a little bit of concern right now for the Thunder. Now it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 23. Ball at middle of the field. 2 receivers on both sides of Basehor. Mangini, the running back here. Basehor going deep to the left side. It's incomplete. Tight coverage and a flag is thrown. Pass was intended for Jet there. And it's going to be Aiden Greer picking up the penalty flag on the outside for Basehor-Linwood. And Basehor not happy about that call.
Yeah, Greer just with a little bit of a shove at the end, maybe didn't get his head around, and that's probably why they're going to get flagged. He had good positioning. If he would have just turned and looked for the ball, probably would have avoided the flag, but that little shove and not really getting his head around is going to draw the flag every time.
Yeah, and that was really a play there where, you know, not a great ball from Basehor, but contact was obviously there from the D-back, and Basehor not happy with that call. Now just 1:04 left in the first half. St. James has it at the 13-yard line after the penalty, so plenty of time for St. James to score. The bunch to the right with Mangini, 1 receiver on the left. It's going to be a handoff to Tujak up the middle. He gets a couple up to the 12, maybe the 11, and now under a minute left.
Maybe not a bad play call by St. James, running down the clock and kind of defeating the purpose of that timeout by Basehor-Linwood. Brings up a 2nd down here from the 12.
Yeah, and you mentioned a little bit there, I don't really understand if you're Basehor why you aren't calling a timeout here after you called one earlier. You kind of have to commit to it once you call the first, but they choose not to. 3 on the right, 1 on the left. Drop back, Basehor looking, blitz coming up the middle. Basehor rolling, he's going to have to pass it quick. Tujak into the end zone, and it is a down at the 1. Wow, that looked like it was a touchdown. They say he stepped out at the 1. Basehor making some magic happen, just flicking it out to Tujak on the right, and he goes out at the 1 with just 29 seconds left for the Thunder.
Very similar looking play to Patrick Mahomes' pass to Samaje Perine last week. Just rolling out of the pocket, creating space, and just flicking it to your running back downfield.
St. James now under center is Basehor. It's going to be a reverse handoff and a little end around to Chase. St. James thinks he got in, Basehor didn't. He was hit right as he got the ball by the D end of Basehor. Lots of motion going on, lots of time ticking off the clock as well. St. James calls timeout. They say he got stopped. A lot of time ran off there. It's just 11 seconds now off the clock. The ref's indecision costing St. James a few seconds there. The clock hadn't really been a problem until that play takes almost 18 off the clock. And now with just 11 seconds left, St. James needs to try to make these next couple plays go quick.
You still got the 2 timeouts, so the run game still is an option here. If you're the Thunder, I'm thinking maybe QB sneak potentially. You could see just a fullback dive up the middle. They could try to get tricky with it like they did on that little kind of handoff to Parker there.
Yeah, and St. James, they have the ball at the 1 here. You mentioned a QB sneak. You got to wonder with Basehor's injury if that's something St. James is even going to consider right now. He's ran plenty today, but QB sneak, we saw it with Mahomes a few years ago with his injury on that play. It certainly is a risky play for a quarterback. St. James is going to bring Basehor back out under center again in that tight formation, and they're going to the QB sneak, and he gets in pretty easily. A touchdown for the Thunder, their 2nd of the night, and it brings them within 1 score of the Bobcats.
And that's a huge response when you go down 16-7 with 3 minutes left and to be able to orchestrate a drive to put you back within 1 score, back within a field goal distance, and only leave 11 seconds on the clock. That's beautiful execution from the offense. It's exactly what you want from an offensive standpoint from offensive coordinator Matt Joshi. Does a brilliant job calling the plays to get them into the end zone and waste that clock.
So PAT now on for the Thunder. Thunder player running on late, still 15 seconds to get the snap off, plenty of time. High snap, good hold by Wonder. Very, very high kick there, and it is going to be good for the Thunder. So St. James makes their PAT, and now the score, 16 Basehor, 14 St. James.
I think that PAT could have been good from about 40. Absolutely hoofing it on that one.
Yeah, that ball went above the uprights, it looked like there. You don't really see that from a college-level PAT kick very often, but Bevitt puts it through with ease. Now St. James down 2, probably just hoping to end this half right now. Are the Thunder, you got to think Pacers probably not going to try aggressively to score here with just 11 seconds left on the clock, especially with them having the lead.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're Basehor, you're perfectly content going into halftime up 2 points. I mean, this is probably definitely from our perspective, this is not what we expected the score to be at halftime. I'm not sure if they're going to play it because of our technical difficulties, but we did, again, pick halftime scores in our pregame show this week, and I can guarantee none of them were 16-14. Basehor would be up. So, it was a sloppy first half from the Thunder, but the good news is that it was a very sloppy first half, and you're only down 2, right? So if you can clean up these things going into the second half, this game is, still wide open. Anyone can take it, and really I think it's St. James for the taking.
Absolutely. Still 11 seconds left in the first half here. Bevitt on to kick for a Thunder. It's a little squib kick, a dribbler. It's off the face mask of the defender. It's off Basehor's face mask, and St. James got it. What a lucky play for the Thunder. It's recovered by Charlton at the 33 with 9 seconds left. St. James might have a shot to take a lead. You spoke too early there, Jonathan. We might have a shot at giving St. James a lead here. It was a nice dribbler on the ground. The Basehor-Linwood player crouching down to get the ball. Bounces right off his face into the St. James defender, Charlton's arms. And St. James ball at the 33, 9 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Definitely possible that St. James could put up some more points here.
Yeah, for sure. I think St. James, you probably got 1 shot at the end zone, maybe 2 with a timeout, depending on how long the play takes. But you've either got 1 shot over the middle, 1 shot to the end zone, and then you're probably kicking a field goal here. Maybe you just try to make this field goal a little shorter.
St. James going 5 wide here. They are at the 33. That would mean it's about a 50-51-yard field goal attempt. Big blitz coming from Basehor. Over the middle, Wonder complete. Wonder makes a man miss. Up inside the 10 and down at the 9. 1 second left. That is perfect execution by the Thunder. Wonder was left open by the big blitz up the middle from Basehor. Makes a man miss, and St. James now an easy field goal attempt. And wow, what a key play for the Thunder. It's going to be, it looks like about a 25-yard attempt from Bevitt. We've seen him nail those all season long. And a big-time play from Basehor to Wonder.
And luckily for the Thunder, I don't think you're going to need that PAT kicking power for this one.
Certainly a big play there for the Thunder coming up after the timeout.
And what a beautiful play it was. I mean, credit to the offensive line for doing a nice job picking up the blitz. And Jude Wonder does a great job of just kind of getting over the middle of the field, sitting down, and Tyson does a great job finding him. And credit to Jude as well for, sitting down with 1 second to go instead of trying to run out the clock, much like Will Howard did in that game against Oregon while we're talking about him.
Yeah, and that time St. James had the timeout, so that was actually a smart play there by Wonder, making the nice educated football play there. It's going to be a 25-yard attempt from Bevitt. He is right up the middle. St. James has made most of their field goals inside 35 this year. Let's see if Bevitt can give St. James a lead with this attempt. 1 second left. Very high snap, great hold by Wonder. Another kick a mile high, and it is good. So St. James gets the 17-16 lead. You gotta think the missed PAT earlier on the fake is haunting Basehor. You said it, Mike Graham. Well, I think it definitely is right now. But the big field goal kick by Bevitt gives St. James all the momentum heading into halftime.
Yeah, and what a response from St. James. I mean, we talked about it. They were pretty down in the dumps, down big, with 3 minutes to go. And just the response and the way that the ball bounces to allow them to take this 1-point lead at halftime really is huge. And they're going to have to look to build on this into the second half, try and get the momentum, use this first half momentum they've generated to try to run up the score a little bit.
Yeah, the score now, St. James 17, Basehor 16, next on the Thunder Broadcasting Network. Welcome into halftime, guys. Coach Radke this past week got honored as the Chiefs Coach of the Week. Now let's take a quick look at what that looked like.
Half the Kansas City Chiefs and the Hunt family, 2 NFL teams, select their Coach of the Week, and this week your coach has been selected as a Chiefs Coach.
On behalf of Aurora, Coach is also receiving a gift card for a heated vest. On behalf of Oakley, Coach is also receiving a pair of sunglasses. And on behalf of the Hunt Family Foundation, your program's also receiving $500.
Hey, obviously, make sure he spends that $500 the way you guys want it. exciting win last week. We're excited to watch. He was our coach of the year 4 years ago. Yeah, I didn't say around there. So we've watched you guys for a long time, and so proud of what you guys do, and excited about new stadium over there. You keep doing what you're doing here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I've been watching the Chiefs practice, and I know one thing: they work hard out here, because they know if they work hard out here, they can have fun on Sundays. You work hard out here, great things will happen Friday night. Make sure, the other thing, you're thankful for your coaches. They have put in a lot of time and effort to help you guys have fun on Friday nights, all right? So be thankful for who and what they do. You keep doing what you're doing, you make the big time where you are, right? And you know what? The big time is not a place. It's a state of your heart. It's right here. So you bring it, man. You bring it on Friday nights. And you do it for one another. Great things will happen. Coach, congratulations. I'll give you guys actually a little old school song. Here we go. You guys say after me. Hey, Coach.
Hey, Coach.
Go, Coach.
Go, Coach.
Attaway.
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 What's up? Hoorah! Appreciate it. Thank you very
Congrats to Coach Radke on that honor. He is now in the running for the Chiefs Coach of the Year. Now let's talk about our predictions, guys. We're looking at the 5A bracket. Pretty good week for all of us so far that filled out brackets. Week 1, let's start here. St. Thomas Aquinas and Pittsburgh. Jonathan, we'll start with you. Who do you got?
I'm going to pick the Saints. I feel like it's a silly decision to pick Pittsburgh with how good Aquinas has been playing. I really don't see them losing until potentially next week against Mill Valley, so I'm going to go Aquinas.
Aquinas by 30.
I'm going to go Aquinas by 40.
We'll go Aquinas by 50.
There we go. Next game we're picking, winner of these games will play each other. We got Mill Valley and Spring Hill. Isaac, we'll start with you on this one. Where are you going?
Yeah, Mill Valley, like 100-0, something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to say it's going to be 63-10.
Zach?
You see, this really sets Mill Valley up for a big game against Aquinas. I feel like they're just going to overlook this game a little bit. And you know how Spring Hill is, all right in their own right. So I think it'll be a bit closer. Maybe we're talking like 28 points. Mill Valley let up a couple points here. But, this just really just sets the stage for Mill Valley Aquinas. Mill Valley has to be very careful to not, get any of their key guys injured trying to do too much.
They're going to overlook them, but they're still going to win by 28 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go Mill Valley too, and I think what you said is important for both Aquinas and Mill Valley, not looking ahead too much, keeping guys healthy. That has to be a priority, obviously, outside of just winning their games. Next one we got here, we're looking at Blue Valley North and Leavenworth. Zach, we'll let you start off with this one.
It's a very interesting matchup, right? Because you've got the 15 seed upset the 2 seed and the 10 seed upset the 7 seed. So, of course, a matchup you weren't really expecting to see here, but I'm going to go with Blue Valley North to keep on rolling here. Of course, they only had one regular season win, but I like Blue Valley North here.
Yeah, I'm going to go Blue Valley North as well. They're one of, I think, the most talented teams in the EKL, so I'm going to go Blue Valley North.
Yeah, I disagree with that take. But, look at Leavenworth's strength of schedule. Trash. Look at Blue Valley North. A lot better. I'm going Blue Valley North.
I'm going to pick Blue Valley North as well, and I never thought this day would come where all 4 of us would be picking a Blue Valley North victory, but here we are. So I'm going Blue Valley North. I think they'll keep it rolling, like Isaac said. I think strength of schedule really plays a big factor once you get to the playoffs.
Yeah, Isaac once said they were the laughingstock of the EKL, and now we're all
Look
picking
where they
them
are
to
now.
win a game in the playoffs. Last one we're picking here, we're going to pick St. James Basehor-Linwood. We're not going to pick a result. We're filming this a couple days before the game. We're all going to give our score predictions for what we think it is right now at halftime after the first half. So I'm going to start us off here. I think it's right now, I think St. James 24, Basehor-Linwood 7. That's my prediction right now for what the score is going to be at halftime.
Do you have a missed PAT for this game too?
I do not. I thought it was going to work last week. It didn't, so I'm just going to stick with the 3 PATs in the field goal. Isaac?
Yeah, I got St. James 28-3.
28-3?
28-3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like St. James 24-7. What did you pick?
I picked 24-7. I mean, it's
Copycat.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think Basehor gets a touchdown. Here, I'll go 28-10. Actually, I think Basehor will get the score on 2 possessions. 28-10.
Full points.
Well, offensive heavy game.
I'd just like to start by pointing out that I was exactly 1 point off from perfectly predicting last week's halftime predictions.
Cares.
So
Nobody cares.
by the
Nobody
way,
cares.
1 point. So this week I'm going to go St. James 14, Basehor-Linwood 7.
Wow.
So it's going to be 13-7 is what you're saying at halftime?
All right, so we all predict last week's game, at least at halftime. I don't think any of us saw 48-22 victory except for the mayor, Juan Pablo Santoyo. He said 48-7 before the game. He was really proud of that prediction, 48-7, kept telling everybody that. I think none of us really believed him, and then St. James put up 48, winning 48-22. So shout out to the mayor, shout out Juan Pablo for a really good prediction on that game as well.
We love the mayor.
All right, thank you for watching our halftime segment today. Now let's send it over to the TBN Pulse. St. James versus Basehor-Linwood. We'll be back shortly.
From Thunder Studios in Lenexa, Kansas, this is TBN Pulse.
Hello Thunders, I'm Annie Conklin, and this episode of TBN Pulse, we take an on-the-field look at last week's Thunder football game where we knocked Blue Valley High School out of the playoffs. We get a facilities update from Mr. Radke and Mrs. Baumhoff. And we peek into the process of producing another great issue of the Veritas, the St. James Academy Yearbook. This is TBN Pulse. Gotta love that excitement out there on the field. It was a fun game. Thanks to Jackie Daniel and Brooklyn Melies for producing that segment. St. James Academy has been a construction site for quite a while now. As we expand our campus for our students, let's check in to see the process.
The first thing they started to do was they started working on the St. Joseph Fieldhouse, which makes it way easier to host or basketball games in the winter. Practice times, we get done way earlier for volleyball and wrestling and basketball, so that's incredible. We got the cages for the baseball team out there. And then outside, you know, there's big improvements to the track facilities. We've got long jump, triple jump, pole vault pits that are going in. We also have tennis courts that just got finished, and let alone the stadium's being built right now. So we'll get to host some home football games this year, and it'll make the experience for girls soccer and boys soccer and any events that are going out to lacrosse for the clubs and stuff too, that everybody's going to actually have a home game to get in front of some big crowds, hopefully.
It's just going to be so incredible to have the new courts out there, to be able to walk right outside after school and practice is going to be so huge. It's going to allow our team to practice as a group instead of being split up. It's going to allow us to have a no-cut program, which is what I've wanted to do since I started coaching. So yeah, so that, I mean, it's just going to do so many wonderful things. I mean, it's definitely going to help just bring the school together, and I feel like just encourage more kids to get out and come support our athletics. To have everything on campus is just, it's amazing.
Our whole thing at St. James is focusing on Jesus, right? And get as many people to heaven as possible. So this is just a byproduct of all the work that we've done to keep staying focused on the mission. So the new shiny stuff, I always say this, the more games that you win, the more they have to talk about St. James, right? And so if they have to talk about St. James, they have to talk about Jesus, right? And so if we have more facilities, then they're actually going to have to say, hey, look at all the cool stuff they have at St. James. You know, and so then we maybe get some more kids that, because we you know, some kids have maybe chosen not to come to St. James because we haven't had the facilities, and now the people, well, we're full right now anyway, but kids might not, or kids might choose St. James because of the facilities that we have. And that's, again, more people looking at St. James, the better. That means they get to learn about Jesus every single day. So I think it's going to help our mission actually. And then again, talking about the more stuff we have on campus, right? They're going to see our beautiful crucifix out there in Marion Stadium, so they can look at it, and they're going to have to ask about where'd you get the crucifix, right? In the tennis courts, we're hosting regionals, they're going to have to look up there. We're hosting track meets, they're going to have to look up there and then ask the question, who is Jesus, right? And who are they in my life? And so I think just that more visual representation, and we're going to have more people here, right? So we got more fans coming to St. James asking about what are they doing there, because we have a lot of people coming to St. James to check out our school anyway, just outside. And so now every Friday night or every Tuesday or Thursday, whatever it is, in every regional event that we host, people are going to have to ask, what's St. James really about?
St. James Academy continues to grow. We expect to play girls soccer on the field this spring, and the Cultural Arts Center is hopefully right around the corner. Thanks to Abigail May for producing that segment. Lastly, let's get a closer look at one of my favorite projects, the Veritas Yearbook.
My name is Lily Wheeler. I am the yearbook editor of photography. So we have 3 editors. It's the editor-in-chief, and then it's editor of content and editor of photography. So I make sure that everyone is scheduled to take pictures at events. I make sure that the pictures have a good quality. And I also just help out with any other tasks of making sure the yearbook pages look good and just maintaining it as a whole. I like to cover sports. I think it's really fun to get it, especially volleyball. I really like going to volleyball games because the lighting's a lot better than football or soccer, especially whenever it's dark. But football and soccer are really fun whenever they have pretty sunsets, and those make the pictures look really cool. I think this year it will look so cool, especially with our theme, Feed the Flame. And so we have some really cool ways of incorporating that into the yearbook. My favorite part of yearbook is making new friends and also learning each day how to design better and better.
Well, it's only year 2 for me, but I would say we constantly are looking at other schools' yearbooks, both private and public, to keep ourselves competitive. We also have professionals come in and visit us and give us advice. And I am the type of person that I don't like doing the same thing twice. I like doing it different each time. So I kind of challenge my designers, my photographers to always try to go a little bit further, to try something a little bit more challenging and to make it a better product each time. I would have to say the Holy Spirit inspires my vision for yearbook each year. I have a very strong passion to pass on the faith through the yearbook because I feel like it's a tool that students will have in years to come where they can look back and revisit some of those beautiful spiritual experiences and memories during high school. The biggest challenges are the fact that it's over 300 pages. That's a lot of design. It can be very overwhelming. It can be very tedious. It can be very stressful. And just making sure that we're always thinking of each page in love and in sensitivity, but also having the passion to convey the messages we want on each page, and just making sure that it's just and fair and that we take care of each section of the yearbook and we don't have certain favorite sections that we focus on the most. I think my favorite section is the one about community. When we show the different personalities of the different communities, when we study the saints of those communities, and we can put that into a design form. And that's really exciting because it shows the students that we have a really deep meaning in those different communities. So I think that's kind of beautiful.
The yearbook staff works hard to make a great keepsake book, and we think it really pays off. Thanks to Joe Peterson for producing that piece. And thank you to all the students in the SJA Media Arts program for making these segments, and thanks to you for watching TBN Pulse. I'm Annie Conklin. God bless you, and go Thunder.
This broadcast is a product of St. James Academy. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this Thunder Broadcasting Network production without the express written consent of St. James Academy is prohibited.
Basehor back to kick now. It's Zimbelman. It's going to be caught at the 5 by Chase. He's going to bring it out, going to his left. Chase up the sideline, going down at the 22-yard line. So a modest gain there for Chase, and St. James will start their drive at the 22 now. St. James 17-16 lead over Basehor right now. This is a St. James team that probably feels lucky to have that lead. They got the ball back after scoring a touchdown with just 11 seconds left. They got the ball back on a little squib kick off the Basehor player's face mask. Big pass play to Wonder, and then they got a field goal. So 10 points in 11 seconds is what gave St. James the 17-16 lead here. Now let's see if they can add to it. Basehor, the quarterback, he had a solid first half. Let's see if he can build on it here. 2 receivers on both sides. 4 down linemen. It's going to be a quick screen to the far side. I believe that's Jet. Nice run up the sideline to the 30-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of about 7, maybe 8 yards there on first for the Thunder.
And it's a nice little screen to start off the half. Give the quarterback a call that he doesn't really have to think, doesn't really have to make a read, just has to hit his guy, gets it to Jet, and allows him to go make a play.
2nd down and 2 now for the Thunder. 2 on both sides. Rolling to his right is Basehor. That's the far side. Rolling is Basehor. Looking downfield, going deep. Chase, it's a toe tap. Did he bring it in? No signal yet, and it's incomplete. So he tried to go. It was going to be caught right at Basehor's 40-yard line, so that's about a 30-yard pass play rolling from Basehor to Chase. But it looks like Chase couldn't get his toe in, and now it's going to be a 3rd and 2. And Blue Valley North leads Leavenworth 27-14. St. James will be playing the winner of that game if St. James were to advance to the next round, so that's definitely a score we want to keep track of. I think Blue Valley North, the 15 seed, probably the favorite in that one, being the EKL team. It's going to be a drop back. Basehor outside, quick stop route to Neeson right at the sticks. It's going to be a 1st down. If they mark the forward progress there, he was wrapped back to the 30, but the forward progress gets him the 1st down, and St. James moves the sticks there.
I got to say, a quarterback for Basehor, Kyle Burnett, has had a heck of a game. He's been staying with Neeson a lot of this game as he's been on the near side of the field. He's been running with him stride for stride, even on some of his hard cuts. Maybe his route running is a little bit hindered by that back injury, but he looks to be fine, and now he follows him across the field again. That's definitely a matchup I'm going to want to be watching throughout the second half.
Absolutely, and now St. James with 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right, tight end on the left as well. Ball on the right hash at the 33. Handoff to Jack up the middle, fights, gets a couple up to the 35, and falls forward to get 2 for the Thunder. Looks like he got 3 there, so ball at the 35, 2nd and 7 on that right hash again. They've got 3 on the left. Chase singled up at Basehor's right. Running back Tujak behind him. Pass. He's going to Chase. It's incomplete. Basehor wanted Chase to break the route off sooner than Chase was ready to. Had to try to make the acrobatic catch midair. Couldn't haul it in. And now it's going to be a 3rd down and 7 for the Thunder.
Yeah, it looked like just a little bit of a miscommunication there between Chase and Basehor. It looked like Basehor wanted to go back shoulder maybe a few steps earlier than Chase anticipated, and he's just unable to bring it in. So like you said, Will, this will bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and medium right here. And as you're St. James, you don't want to be punting the ball back to Basehor already.
Need to get to the 42. They're at the 35. 3rd and 7. Rolling to his left is Basehor. He's got some time. He stops, looks, fires, incomplete. Pass intended for Wonder, goes over his head, and it's going to be a 3 and out now after a 1st down, a 3 and out for the Thunder, just 90 seconds into the half. St. James obviously don't want to bring the punt unit on. Kyle Burnett, the returner for the Bobcats. So it's going to be a 4th and 7. St. James will be punting. Boydston will be the punter once again for a Thunder. Big rush. It's going to be a wobbly kick that gets off, caught at the 24, or rather 26. Brought forward, and a nice tackle by Neeson at the 33. That's where the Bobcats will start their drive. So St. James defense will head out there now after a quick drive. Basehor will start at the 34 on the right hash. The St. James defense, it's been a mixed bag tonight. Some really nice plays on the outside, especially by cornerback Connor Scahan and safety Noah Hornback, but also have seen some struggles as well. There is a penalty on this play, so the ball is going to be brought back to the 24-yard line. So Basehor will give back some of their field position that they earned on the return there. So Basehor starts at the 24 on the right hash. Carson Dixon, the quarterback, he had a very nice first half, saw his skill in the running and passing game. Daring, the running back, 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right, tight end on the right. It's going to be read option, give to Daring, going to the right side. He's got a first down and more. Daring along the sideline, past the 40 to the 43-yard line, and that's a great first down play for 19, a carry by Daring.
And a real nice explosive run there from Daring. He does a good job at bouncing it outside. The St. James defense doesn't do a very good job at sitting the edge there. Daring's able to get outside and with a burst of speed get upfield for a gain of 19.
Daring definitely one of the more talented backs in this 4A playoffs that's remaining. And St. James has struggled a little bit with him tonight. Daring up the middle again, juking. He's got a first down again and more along the right side into the 40, up to the 36, maybe 35. A big run by Daring, 2 carries, and he has gotten Basehor out of their field position all the way down the field inside the 40.
And that's 2 runs to the right side of that offensive line. Basehor's offensive line doing a great job at giving Daring huge holes to run through, and he's hitting them with speed.
Now going quick again. It's going to be play action. He tried to hit the tight end. It was incomplete. He was wide open there, the tight end. Miller open. They just overthrew him a little bit there, did the quarterback, and it's going to fall incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10 for Basehor.
The St. James defense is going to have to find an answer for this potent run game from Basehor-Linwood. And it looks like their starting running back, Daring, is kind of hobbling off the field with maybe a back injury right now, so we'll monitor that.
2nd and 10, drop back. They're going outside. Ball on the ground. It was incomplete. Once again, it looked like the receiver, that time Morrison, was open. It was a little comeback route about 12 yards downfield and just a bit underthrown. Now a 3rd and 10. You mentioned Daring being out. That would be a big, big loss for the Bobcats if he was out. It's now a 3rd down and 10. The backup running back in the game, Peter Rodriguez, the 5'11 sophomore. It's going to be 2 receivers on both sides of the quarterback, Dixon. Rodriguez flex to the left. Drop back. It's going to be a tunnel screen on the right, and he is brought down. Not much doing there. Trying to go to Connor Rivas. Only getting a few yards. The tunnel screen on the right side. Not doing much for Basehor. Now a 4th and 8. And it looks like the offense is staying on the field.
Yeah, and I think this is the right decision if you're Basehor. You know, you've given up a lot of momentum. You've given up, 14 unanswered points. You've got to try to get the momentum back on your side, and you're at midfield.
So now 4th down and 8. Caleb Thino, the back right now. Drop back, blitz gets there from Raquette. Rolling to his right, it's caught. Basehor completes it, and he's down at the 15-yard line. The comeback route works for the Bobcats. Raquette brought great pressure. Dixon evaded, and he hit his man Morrison for the first.
Yeah, corner Ben Drew, he just unfortunately falls down on that route, and Dixon does a nice job flushing out right and looking downfield and able to deliver a strike to his wide receiver.
Ball on the right hash at the 15. It's going to be a read option, and it's going to hand off to the back, Thano. Raquette rolls him back, gain of about 1 by the backup there. And now it looks like Daring heading back onto the field. That's definitely a good sight for Basehor.
Yeah, for sure. This Basehor offense really has kind of come alive on this drive. That run game has helped to set up some of these passing plays, and their offense has been able to move the ball down the field pretty effortlessly. St. James is going to have to make an adjustment on defense.
Double stack right now with the 1 running back. Keep by Dixon up the middle. A power looked like he came up right around that first down marker at the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him a yard short, so ball is going to be at the 6. It's going to be a 3rd and 1. A nice run there from Dixon. difficult decision time now for Basehor. Ball at the 6-yard line, a 3rd and 1. They need the 5 for the first down. Could go for the end zone here. Run and pass, definitely all options. It's 5 wide. Basehor has 3 on the left. Morrison on the right with Daring, the running back. 10 on the play clock. It's going to be a power. Looks like he's looking. Looks like he got the first. The flag comes in after Dixon's ripped down at the 4. And with the spot of that flag, you got to think a holding is in play right now for Basehor. And Basehor looks like they're moving backwards. Dixon got the first down, but the holding will negate the yardage there from Dixon. It is going to be a hold with that QB draw. Definitely run the risk of when the St. James defenders over pursue, maybe holding as the quarterback goes right by him. That's definitely a risk, and Basehor paid the penalty there. Now it's going to be a 3rd down all the way backed up to the 18-yard line, a 3rd and 12 for the Bobcats. Just 7:36 on the clock. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right with the tight end now coming in motion to the left. Play action, drop back, time for Dixon. Strike over the middle, that is incomplete. Nothing was there. Pass there was intended for Adair right over the middle. And Dreiling, it looked like, maybe hit him a little bit late there. Bobcats fans not happy about that. You can hear the boos maybe right now. Not a good pass from Dixon there. That one did not get close to the receiver. Adair came up 3 to 5 yards short on a route about 15 yards downfield. And now it looks like Zimbelman will come on for the field goal attempt for Basehor. This is a big-time kick for Zimbelman, the sophomore. It's a 35-yard attempt from the right hash now. Zimbelman has made a field goal already tonight along with a PAT, but this will be his longest attempt yet. Snap and hold are good. Low kick, line drive. Looks like it got there, and it did. So Basehor takes the lead. Zimbelman, a little bit of a knuckleball sort of kick right through the uprights, and Basehor regains the lead 19-17 with 7:21 in the 3rd.
But I think it's a good stand from the St. James defense, though. You know, you let them kind of drive all the way down the field, and then you take advantage of their 3rd and 1 penalty that forces them backwards, and you don't allow them to get into the end zone. And obviously, you don't want to be giving up points, but 19-17 is a lot better than 22-17 would be. So good job by the St. James defense to kind of hold strong, bend but not break, again, as we've seen kind of multiple times through the season. And now it's going to be up to the offense to try and respond again to the Basehor points.
Yeah, like you mentioned, kind of a nice stand there, all things considered, but St. James needs to try to get some of these 3 and outs that Basehor has forced all night long. Now Basehor will be off to kick off up 19-17. Basehor scoring first in the second half here. It will be Chase back to return along with Tujak. Going left to right. The wind still out here, but probably a little bit less noticeable than it was before. It's coming from the top to the bottom, so not really affecting one side more than the other in the passing or kicking game right now. St. James needs to find a way to get some points on this drive, and it starts right here with the return from Tujak and Chase. They're lined up at the 5. Zimbelman sends a high one into the air. It's going to be caught at the 10 by Tujak. He's going to try to go to his right now. Blocks are not formulating. Make a couple miss, and he falls at the 20, maybe the 21. And once again, this kickoff return unit for St. James not really giving Chase and Tujak, the returners, the blocks they need. St. James offense will come out just past the 20-yard line here. This is an offense that, frankly, has just looked a little out of rhythm all night long, had a few plays go for turnovers or just penalties or sacks or whatever it may be, but a few too many negative plays so far for the Thunder.
For sure. Offense just hasn't looked like themselves. They've got to take care of the ball in the second half. They've got to find a way to consistently pick up first downs, kind of give their defense time to rest on the sidelines.
3 down linemen for Basehor. Man in motion is Wonder. It's going to be a roll to the left by Beshore, tipped, caught by Tujak. Tujak gets a 1st and more, up past the 35-yard line, up to the 37. A nice play on the play action there for first down.
pretty good action there. Nice job by Basehor, not panicking back there, but just doing a nice job at rolling out to the left and finding Tujak over the middle. A great job by Tujak to turn it upfield and pick up that first. That's exactly the start to the drive that you want to see. It's just a one-play first down.
7:09 left in the third quarter here. 3 on the right of Basehor, 1 on the left. St. James stands at the left hash here at the 37. Drop back, Basehor, quick pass over the middle. It's incomplete and almost picked off. Wonder was the man intended there on a slant. He would have been absolutely leveled by Brady Oaks coming straight parallel to him. It would have been a giant hit. Wonder backed off a little bit, and the safety behind him almost picked it off because of it. Definitely not, I think, what St. James was designing for that play, and now it's a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it just looked like Wonder was not ready. Maybe Basehor kind of saw a gap in the coverage and tried to hit him early, but whatever it was, Wonder did not look ready for that pass, and lucky that it wasn't picked.
2nd and 10 now. Opportunity to regroup for the Thunder. 3 on the right, 1 on the left. Drop back. 3-man rush. Time going deep. Incomplete. Defender all over him, but the flag will not come out. Jet was the intended target. That was Noah Gutierrez in coverage. You had the PI earlier. That was, I would say, a lot more egregious than the PI he was called on earlier in the game, but no flag comes out, and now it's a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I agree. It looked like there was quite a bit of contact downfield between Jet and the DB. You got to wonder why they didn't throw the flag there, but 3rd and 10 from St. James. They got to find a way to pick this up or else make it a 4th and short.
At the 37, Basehor almost jumps, and they do. So Basehor had 2 guys jump off sides there. Cooper Ingram, the D-end, the worst defender. That's going to help St. James a lot. 3rd and 10 versus a 3rd and 5. That's a big difference in the favor of the Thunder.
St. James has been able to get kind of those hard count extra 5 yards really this whole season. I'm surprised, these defensive teams haven't really planned for that a little bit more. Surely they've seen it on film this whole season. I'm surprised that it still works this well.
3rd and 5, bunch on the right. Now Wonder flex to the left, drop back, Basehor, quick pass over the middle. What a catch by Neeson, and now he's on his feet still, dancing around past the 40, and Neeson gets a big first down. He stopped right in front of the first down marker. It was a high pass. He hauled it in, dances, makes a few miss, and gets it into Basehor territory at the 38. Yeah, and that was the sort of play, he was wide open there. A high pass from Basehor, that's very uncharacteristic of him missing a guy that open, but Neeson hauls it in and made multiple defenders miss, dancing up the field to the 38-yard line. Now 2 receivers on both sides. Basehor flexed out. Mangini takes the snap. It's a direct draw up the middle. He's going to try to bounce right. Basehor gets the block. Mangini, he's still going down at the 21. He's ripped down. In St. James, we saw a little trickery of both quarterbacks last week. We saw it there again. Basehor getting the big block from Mangini up to the 21.
Yeah, and you love to see kind of these tricky formations from offensive coordinator Matt Joshi. Obviously, Frankie started 4 games at quarterback, so when they're both in the backfield, the defense doesn't really know what's going to hit them. And I like the play call. Another quarterback draw for Mangini, kind of playing to one of his strengths as a runner. And like you said, great block from Tyson Basehor. You don't typically want your starting quarterback downfield blocking, but worked out that time.
Handoff to Tujak up the middle, still going on his feet. Gets 4, maybe 5 up to the 16-yard line, and a nice, tough run for the Thunder on first down. And the ball on the 17-yard line there. That was a 4-yard run by Tujak up the middle. Yeah, and that's something, St. James, we saw him use it earlier in the game where they had both in the backfield and just ran a normal pass play out of it with Mangini as a pass blocker. So really everything on the table there. Mangini flex to the right, now 3 on the right, 1 on the left. It's a power by Basehor up the middle. He's going to get right up to the marker on the 2nd down run. He had to get to the 11 for the first. Looks like he got right close to it, and they're going to motion and give him the first. So up to the 11-yard line, Basehor taking the run for the first down.
And again, I've really liked the play calling this drive. St. James has done a nice job of not really forcing anything down the field. They've done a very good job at taking what this Basehor defense is giving them. They're making their way down the field, 5-6 yards at a time instead of trying to make it 15, 20 yards at a time. They've done a very nice job down inside the 15-yard line, but they've got to be able to convert here with a touchdown.
Let's see if they can do that. 3 on the left, 1 on the right for Basehor. Tujak behind him. Good protection. Goes to Tujak. It's incomplete. A little bit of a Texas route there from Tujak, angling to his right, coming back to the middle. Tujak wasn't ready for it again, and it falls incomplete.
I like the play call there again from Joshi. Just unfortunate that John was unable to haul it in, excuse me.
Yeah, and looked like Tujak was trying to chip a little bit. Basehor bought a 5-man blitz, tried to chip a little bit on the block, and then go out for the quick angle route. And connection just a little off there. So second down now from the 11. Faking the pitch to Tujak, rolling to his left is Basehor. He's got room to run. He's going to take it. Goes right forward up to the 6. And it's going to be a 5-yard run from Basehor. Tackle made there. That was Nate Martin.
Nice play call design there. Seeing Carter Jasperson, the guard, pulling for Basehor on the left side, trying to give him some space to find an open man. Just didn't work out. Overall, good play call there.
I've seen St. James use that motion a lot. That time, all guys guarded downfield, and he ran for it. Now inside of 4 minutes left in the quarter. 3rd down and 6 on the left hash. 2 receivers on both sides. Drop back. Basehor looking to his right. Running out of time. He's going to have to go. Runs, and he moves forward, gets a few. How is he still on his feet? Touchdown, St. James. What a play by Basehor. He was down, left for dead at the 7, and he still was on his feet. Basehor had given up. Basehor brings it in, and a touchdown for the Thunder. What a miraculous play by Basehor.
A miraculous play indeed. I thought for sure he had stepped out over there on that far sideline. There looked to be about 3 Bobcats around him, and he was somehow able to squirt through all of them into the end zone. What a play from Tyson Basehor. That's your quarterback leader out there, and to see him making that kind of play is huge.
Bevitt on now for the PAT. It's blocked. Basehor blocked it. It falls down, and once again, who would you guess it is? It's Nate Martin, number 1. He had a pick earlier. He batted it down on 4th down. Well, he blocks the punt there. He has been a stellar player for the Bobcats all night long. Now the score 23, St. James Bobcats 19 with 3:43 left in the 3rd quarter.
And those special teams troubles continue to pop up for the Thunder. You know, I feel like at this point in the season they should have ironed most of these things out, but it's kind of been one of those nagging things that's kind of been with them this whole season.
Yeah, and it feels like there's no saving it at this point. It just is what it is. This St. James team is not good at special teams. There's just no way around it. You have to try to really just win in spite of that now and hope you can do enough. But in a close game like this with a team that's putting it all on the line tonight like Basehor, those mistakes are costly. You can tell, man, this St. James team, they definitely have the momentum here. The sound of silence is really saying a lot right now on the Basehor side. They fell very silent after that touchdown play by Basehor. And now Basehor has to find a way to get that momentum back. It's going to be Bevitt kicking now. It's Martin, number 1, back to return alongside number 10, Revis. Nice kick from Bevitt. It's going to be right along the left sideline and barely gets to the end zone before snaking out of bounds. So Basehor will begin their drive at the 20-yard line. Basehor got 3 on their first drive of the half. Let's see if they can put some more here on the board. And it looks like a flag comes in late on the special teams unit. Looked like lots of extra chatter there. You know, this is a St. James team. They might not be very good at special teams, but they certainly have a lot of fire out there. You have to give them that. It's been that way all year long. Not many flags have come up because of it. Let's see what the call is here. Going to be a personal foul on the Thunder. So that's going to add 15 to Basehor's total. It's going to move them up to the 35. Basehor has felt like they haven't gotten the calls all night. They finally got one there. Now they're going to start at 35. And you know, Coach Tom Radke not happy to see that from his guys.
No, definitely not. You can't be letting your tempers flare and giving Basehor a free 15 yards at this point in the game.
Yeah, and Coach Radke is not happy with the refs on that one. He was chasing that ref along the sideline, visibly upset. Basehor will begin at the 35 now. Dixon, quick bubble screen out far side. They're going to hit their man going along the sideline right up, close to the first down marker. That's Adair bringing it in. It's a 9-yard gain. Now it's going to be a 2nd down and maybe 2.
And Basehor returns to that quick pass game that we saw a lot, especially in that first quarter, something that we kind of haven't seen in the second and third. They go back to it towards the end of the third, and it works like a charm for them, getting 8 yards on first down.
St. James just hasn't been able to find how to stop those short passes all night long, and Basehor's utilized them well. Give to Daring his first carry of the drive. He's going to fight forward past the marker up to the 40 or up to the 46. And a run of 3 for Daring to get a first. Bobcats have plenty of time here. 3:30 left in the third quarter. Both teams with 3 timeouts. 23-19. St. James is on top. Ball at Basehor's own 46-yard line. St. James hasn't made many plays on defense all night long. Let's see if they can get one in one of the next few. It's going to be a handoff to Daring up the middle. Good blocking. Gets him past the 50-yard line, right up to the 49. That's going to be a gain of about 5 for Basehor.
And previously, Daring had been dominant, and this defense has just been containing him this drive. It's good to see. Although allowing minimal yardage, still good to see them not allowing those 19-yard runs like you saw last drive.
Ball is going to be marked right at the 50. It's going to be a 2nd down and 6. Under 3 minutes left in the quarter. On the right hash are the Bobcats. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Tight end on the left. High snap. Ball on the ground. St. James got it. What a big play. St. James got the ball after a high snap. Dreiling hit the quarterback, and St. James recovered it. And that is the momentum swing St. James really needed in this football game.
For sure. Again, St. James taking advantage of snapping troubles from Basehor. They do a nice job falling on that football before Basehor can pick it back up, and now they've got great field position at the Basehor 45, trying to go make this a 2-score game. Up 23-19 right now, looking to make it 30 or 31-19 on this possession.
Absolutely, that is a big-time play. Basehor had been driving down the field. A bit of a high snap. Dixon definitely could have corralled it. Panicked maybe a little bit. Ball ends up on the ground, and St. James recovers. So, like you said there, at the 45, in Bobcats territories where the Thunder will start, they will be on the left hash. 2 receivers will be on both sides. St. James has to call a timeout here. Not really sure why St. James is going with that call, maybe running out of time or not enough guys on the field or whatever. Coach Radke does not look happy about that. You hate to see St. James in a close game like this having to burn a timeout early on. It's going to be 2:40 left in the third quarter here. St. James gets the ball back. The offense already headed back out there, so not really sure what was happening there. We'll see what St. James tries to do this drive. You know, last drive, Basehor's legs really were what was working for the Thunder outside of the big play by Neeson. You've got to think the passing game is what the Thunder are going to look for a lot tonight, especially the rest of this drive.
And for St. James, this is the drive where you just want to try to pull away and have them play catch-up for the whole rest of the game. Just keeping the momentum on your side and get you a win.
Man in motion is Wonder to the right. 3 on the right, 1 on the left. Handoff to Jack. Gets a couple up to the 43 in Basehor territory. Once again, a run up the middle on first.
I've got to say, for the majority of this game, this Basehor defensive line has done a very nice job up front. They've been able to contain John Tujak on a number of his runs. They've been in the backfield, forcing Tyson to kind of make some throws on the runs multiple times. So credit to them for the game they've played so far. They've got to come up with a big stop here if they want to continue this competitive game.
3 on the right, 1 on the left, 2nd and 8. Quick pass, it's a screen to Neeson. He's got blockers. Neeson moving up past the 40, up to the 38-yard line, it looks like. That's not going to be a first down, but it's going to put St. James within 4 yards. They whistle him down at the 39. Now 3rd and 4, difficult situation here for the St. James play calling.
Big 3rd down here for the Thunder. Playbook's pretty open here. Look for a pass outside, maybe right in the middle, Chase or somebody.
3rd down and 4 now. This is a big play for the Thunder. Just 90 seconds left in the quarter. 23-19. Ball is on the right hash. At the 39, they need the 35. Basehor flexed out. Mangini, the quarterback, runs it straight up the middle. He got the first, and he got one more. A big run from Mangini for the first down.
And again, there's that QB drawing with Mangini, with Basehor and Mangini both in the backfield, and they go to the QB draw again. So I like, how Matt Joshi is really switching it up. He's doing a nice job keeping the Basehor defense on their toes with both quarterbacks in the backfield.
Like we mentioned earlier, lots of trickery out of that formation all night. St. James did what they did earlier, flex out Basehor at the last second, have McGinney run straight up the middle, and he got the first there. So ball's at the 34 now on the right hash. It's McGinney and Basehor again in the backfield. Two receivers on both sides. Basehor flexed out. McGinney's going to pass now. He's rolling to his left. He's running out of time. He is still on his feet. Oh my, what a play to evade the sack. He gets just 3. You can tell Basehor frustrated they couldn't bring him down there. He had 2 guys in the open field, made them both miss. Only a gain of a couple, but a really nice play there by the junior quarterback.
Yeah, really a miracle that he didn't get sacked there. Did a nice job of, kind of making something out of nothing there. He's able to pick up 3. Looks like he maybe had Tyson in the flat. He was jumping up and down calling for the ball. So maybe they had something else, maybe a wrinkle off of that little action that they wanted to run.
Yeah, and Basehor was kind of the decoy there and then really wanted the ball, I think, at the end. Ultimately did not get it. So that'll end the third quarter. St. James 23, Bobcats 19.
For from you are all things, to you are all things, you deserve the glory.
All right, we'd like to welcome you back into the Thunder Broadcasting Network here. Score 23, St. James. Basehor 19. Ball is on the 32-yard line, second down and 8. St. James has it on the left hash. 3 receivers on Basehor's right. Jet, the lone receiver on the left. Tujak behind him, tried to get him with the hard count. It did not work that time. Even though this game's in Basehor, St. James has brought all of their fans and then some packing the away section. It's going to be complete over the middle, and it's going to be caught right at the markers. Let's see if it's a first down. Parker Chase brought it in for St. James. It's going to be 2 yards short. Up to the 26. St. James needs the 24. Now a timeout, injury timeout. Basehor player down right at where Chase caught that ball. St. James trying to get the quick passing game going there on second down.
And Chase does a nice job of sitting down right where the gap in the Basehor zone is. He does a nice job, splitting the distance between those 2 linebackers, and Basehor with great anticipation delivers a strike right to him to pick up, that easy 5-6 yards. And that's something that we've seen St. James take throughout the night. The Basehor's been giving up some of these short passes, and they've done a pretty good job at taking advantage of it. We saw, obviously, on the first possession, they hit the big, long touchdown pass to Sam Easton, but you really haven't seen a lot of the deep pass game since then. And that's because Basehor's done a better job of taking that away. And so St. James had to adjust. They've gone to the run game. They've gone to the short passing game. And maybe it hasn't been the prettiest offensive game of all time, but, hey, they're up 23-19 with a chance to go up 2 scores.
That's Tucker Hutchinson, number 8, the linebacker for Basehor-Linwood, coming off after that play, a difficult play there. It's going to be a 3rd down and 2 now for St. James. The offense will be back on the field in just a moment. They have the ball at the 26, need to get to the 24-yard line. We've seen the quick passing game really going all night long for both sides. And you got to think we're going to keep seeing that the rest of the night. Maybe a deep shot at some point, probably not this play. St. James comes out with 2 running backs, Puhala the fullback, Tujak the running back, Chase in at the tight end position, as close to a tight end really as St. James gets. It's going to be a handoff to Tujak up the middle. Blocks were there, and he gets the first down, it looks like, all the way up to the 20-yard line. A great run of 6 for Tujak.
And really at this point in the game, St. James has got to value these possessions. They can't have turnovers up 4 points in the fourth quarter. They've got to find a way to try to punch this in for 6, go up by 11 points, and then, make Basehor take a lot of time off the clock, even if you have to give up points.
Back to the 2-back set. Puhala on his hip. Tujak flexed out to the right. Going deep to Jet. The fade ball What a catch by Alec Jett in single coverage. He takes it down. What a beautiful play. All kinds of interference. It is not called. It does not matter. Alec Jett bringing in the touchdown for the Thunder.
An absolutely beautiful catch from Jett. The defender was draped all over him. He does a nice job with one hand just kind of caressing it against his body. He bobbles it at the end and is able to bring it in for the touchdown. Beautiful catch and throw from Tyson to Jett.
Now Bevitt on for the PAT. Very high snap again for Wonder. He corrals it great as the holder. It is up and good. So St. James goes up 30-19. And you got to give credit to these St. James receivers, man. What a night they have had. Beshore, you got to be honest, he maybe has looked a little uncharacteristically inaccurate. That was a great ball, but all night long just been a little off, it feels like, with his receivers. But those guys are going and making plays, and Jett made a huge one there for the Thunder.
They really are. And, we're talking a little bit pregame with Sam Neeson being limited in practice this week, not practicing the last 2 days, how this was one of those games where one of these third, fourth receivers could really step up, and I think Alex Jett has done just that. With that big touchdown catch there, he's had a couple more key catches in this game. I think he's really kind of stepping up into that position, even though Neeson is playing. He's really stepped up into this game and given the Thunder a nice boost on offense.
He absolutely has. All of these receivers have really done great. All four of those starters, Wonder, Jett, Neeson, and Chase, have had some really big moments tonight. Bevitt kicks it off now to Basehor. It's going to be caught at the 5. That's Martin bringing it back now. He has a crease up the middle. Martin, he's still going, has to beat the kicker, Bevitt, and Bevitt brings him down, slows him down just enough so that a couple other St. James players can help bring him down. But all the way up to Basehor's own 45-yard line goes Martin. And again, Nate Martin, number 1, he has just been an absolute X factor. He has been an animal out there tonight for the Bobcats.
And despite the good return, you'd think it would just save him a few plays, but you really got to look at the clock as well. That 20 yards that they gained there off that kickoff could probably save another minute or two off the clock.
Yeah, it really could. That's a big point there for Basehor, right? With 11 points, being down 11 points, that's two scores. That'd be a touchdown, a field goal, and the 2-point conversion. So time really does matter. There's been a couple difficulties with the clock tonight. Basehor looks like they're going to fix it now. Basehor's fans are disgruntled, to say the least, right now. It looks like they're trying to fix it. There was a time earlier in this game, about 20 seconds went off when St. James had less than 2 minutes left in the first half. They didn't change the clock after they made that mistake. It looks like this mistake apparently warrants fixing after the other one did not.
Yeah, I think disgruntled is almost an understatement for how this Basehor crowd is feeling at this point.
And it's understandable, right? You want your, clock operators trying to do their best in there, but you want to make sure the clock is right when your guys are doing the work. You just don't expect that at this level in the playoffs, but it's kind of been an issue all night long. Looks like they were trying to fix it. It still has not been fixed, so we're just kind of standing out here waiting for the refs to signal it forward. The clock says 10:32. Looks like, if I remember correctly, the play stopped at about 10:45 there. So it should be about 13 seconds added onto the clock for Basehor.
Still waiting here. Somebody cue up the Jeopardy music.
Yeah, St. James guys, they're trying to stay loose out there. You see Connor Scadian right now is dancing by himself out there, just trying to keep their guys loose because this is a long time to wait. We just had somebody run by us out of the press box. They're going onto the field to tell them they have a radio, so the refs are telling them what the time should be, and they're going to go fix that on the clock right now. At the college level or something like that, this would be a little bit of an easier fix, and they do have it fixed now, so 10:48 is on the clock. 30-19, St. James is on top over the Bobcats. Mill Valley is up 35 in their game, so that's another thing to watch in the 4A state playoffs right now. Raquette brings down the running back after a gain of a few up to the 48-yard line. That was Daring, the running back, getting 3, maybe 4 for the Bobcats. Filling you in on some other scores here, Aquinas is up 28-6 in the fourth, so it looks like they will most likely be getting that highly anticipated Mill Valley versus Aquinas game. That'd be really exciting if we do get that one. For now, Basehor going to hand it back off to Daring. gets through the hole right up into St. James' 46-yard line. He's going to come up a yard short of the first down. A nice run there by Daring. Basehor needs to get these first downs. They need to get them fast. Just 10 minutes are left on the clock. They're down 11.
Yeah, crucial possessions here from Basehor. They've got to find a way to come away with points and quick stops here on these next few drives.
2 receivers on the right. Both tight ends also on the right. It's going to be an awkward handoff to Daring. Bowles forward for the first down. That's a big carry by the senior running back there. Nick Daring brings Basehor to the 43 in St. James territory.
And Daring really has had a heck of a game. You know, busted a few big runs in the third quarter. He's had solid runs all night long. He's been getting great blocks from his offensive line up front.
Same formation for Basehor-Linwood. 9:30 on the clock, rolling to his right. Back, good block against Riquette. The ball is tipped, and it's incomplete. It was a comeback route there intended for the receiver Adair, but Boone got his hand on it. Ball was in the air for a second. Looked like St. James could have made a play. Nobody was ready for it, though. It falls incomplete. Now a second down and 10.
Definitely a positive result there on the play. Could have been picked off, but when all is said and done, incomplete pass, move on.
Yeah, great play by Boone. He really sees what quarterback's trying to do there, kind of feels that there's a receiver behind him, just drops in his zone, is able to get his hands on it.
Now it's a second down and 10. Let's see if they go back to the ground game. They're going to try to. Ball is on the ground again. Dixon finally falls down on it. And that time really wasn't a bad snap. It kind of just looked like Dixon was trying to do too many things at once, couldn't handle the ball well, and almost wasn't able to fall on it. He does, though. It's going to be a loss of just 3, maybe 4 there. It's going to be at the 47. They need to get to the 33, so it's a 3rd and 14. 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Tight end on the right, as is the running back Daring. 12 on the play clock. Drop back. 3-man rush. Over the middle, it's incomplete. The ball was intended for Adair. He had it in his hands mid-air and couldn't bring it down. Boydson was in coverage, and now the punt unit must come on for the Bobcats.
Really lucky break there from the Thunder. Dixon had Adair over the middle of the field, probably a yard past the sticks, just goes right through his hands. Great break from the Thunder, but pretty good coverage downfield. There was multiple St. James defenders in the vicinity, made it a tough contested catch, and a good job to force the punt here from the Thunder.
So Hornback will be back to return now for the Thunder. Basehor will be punting from St. James's 47. Not trying to block it are the Thunder. It's a great punt. It's going to be down at the 15, gets a St. James bounce, and it's going to be caught at the 17-yard line in St. James territory. So 8:38 left. St. James up 30-19. The offense, if they can get a score on this drive, that would really feel like you're at least putting this game away if you could get that score here, but you need to make something happen this drive to really feel confident going forward for the Thunder.
You definitely don't want a turnover or an early 3-and-out on this drive. Definitely trying to choke the clock here. Just get it down as much as you can. Doesn't really matter if you score here. Points aren't a huge deal here, but you definitely want to eat at the clock as much as you can.
So 2 running backs now for the Thunder, 3 receivers. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Tujak gets the crease. He gets 7. A nice carry as he darts forward to the 27-yard line, maybe up to the 28. It's going to be 2nd and short for the Thunder.
And like Graham said, points obviously are the goal of every drive, but really if you're St. James, your main goal is to take time off the clock. You know, there's a little over 8 minutes left. You're up by 11. You really just need a solid drive that takes 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, and even if it ends in 0 points or even if it only ends in a field goal, that's still either an 11 or 14-point lead with Basehor only having 3 to 4 minutes to get 2 scores. So really just a good, solid, time-wasting drive here is what the Thunder need.
2nd and 1, under 8 minutes left. Handoff, Tujak up the middle again, gets the first, gets more. He's still going. How'd he make it through there? Oh, my goodness, still on his feet. He is getting tugged every which way, but he gets by the 50-yard line. And Tujak, he got enough of a block, got through the hole, and did the rest himself. A big first down run up into Basehor 47 for Tujak.
It's just a powerful run there from Tujak. You know, that's an I'm not losing this football game run. Breaks, 4 to 5 tackles on that one run all the way up to the other side of midfield. And that's exactly, the spark that St. James needs on this drive, the momentum. Their offense is alive right now. They have to keep driving.
Same formation, 3 receivers, 2 backs, Buhala and Tujak. St. James definitely going to look like they're going to run a lot this drive. Instead, Basehor keeps on the play action. He is wrestled down, a big sack. That was Will Howard, number 27. The linebacker bringing him down. Basehor making the smart play, though. He falls inbounds, so the clock is still rolling, but a big loss for Thunder on first. St. James is going to lose, it looks like 6 on that play. It's going to be a second down now and 16. Ball's going to be at the 48-yard line. Back in their own territory on the right hash. St. James tried to run a quick pass play there on the play action. It wasn't there. Basehor tried to evade and could not. 6:40 is on the clock on the right hash. Faking the toss. Basehor rolling to his left. He's being chased. He's looking. He hits the quick one to Wonder. Wonder steps out of bounds. He gets it up to the 45-yard line. Up to the 46, rather. It's going to be a 3rd down and 9. St. James getting a few of those yards back there on the gain of 6 to Wonder.
Got a 3rd and long here. Clock is stopped at about 6.5 minutes. Definitely want to pick up the first down here.
You need a first. The pass is definitely what you would expect here from the Thunder. You got to think Basehor, if he has a chance to use his legs, will do that as well. 2 receivers on both sides on the left hash. Tujak is the running back behind him. Just 5 on the play clock. St. James needs to snap it. Just 2 now. Just 1. He snaps it with 0. Yeah, and the flag comes in late. St. James is going to get a delay of game. That was right at 0. I think Basehor thought he timed it perfectly and got it off, but he could not. And so now it's going to be a 3rd and 14. That's a big difference from a 3rd and 9, fellas.
Absolutely, and that's really unfortunate because you watch college football, you watch NFL football. Usually, once that clock gets 0, they still get kind of another beat, snap the ball, but the refs blow it dead immediately on this one. Like you said, 3rd and 14 is a lot trickier than 3rd and 9.
5 wides now for Basehor. Big blitz coming. They're bringing 6. He moves up in the pocket. He's going to have to run. Does he know he's past the line? He does. Now he's up past the first down marker. He slides at the 21-yard line. That's a big run from Basehor, the senior, making a smart play and showing off his wheels there.
Basehor putting the team on his back on a 3rd and forever, just becoming Superman there for a play and just getting the first down.
And that ball, that was the 30-yard line rather than the 20-yard line there, so that's where St. James will get this next play started from at the right hash, but what a big run on the 3rd down there by Basehor. Just entering in on the final 6 minutes of this football game now are the Thunder. You got to think they're going to try to keep it on the ground as much as possible. 2 receivers on both sides. Mangini, the quarterback, he gives to Tujak. He falls forward, gets a few up to the 27-yard line.
Maybe a little bit of concern after that last play. Tyson Basehor kind of jogs over to the sideline, working on that left leg, sort of touching that left hamstring, the hamstring that he hurt and was forced to miss a month of the season with. So hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully no major re-injury there. Just maybe taking a play or 2 off. Obviously Frankie's in there. He started multiple games for the Thunder. Very capable.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, hamstrings are really difficult is what the doctors say. At least I'm not a doctor, obviously. But they say hamstrings are difficult. And you kind of see that already with Basehor. Mangini tries to run it up the middle. And there was nothing there. He falls forward, gets maybe a yard or 2 more than he should have there. It's going to be a 3rd down and 7. And let's see, they're keeping Mangini out there right now. And he's going to be called upon in a big moment here. We're entering in on the final 5 minutes of this football game, but he's probably going to have to pass it to get a first down here on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, likely. And even if St. James doesn't pick up the first down here, then you're still leaving Basehor with just over 4 minutes to go. I imagine if they don't, Basehor's going to call a timeout here, try and stop the clock, prevent St. James from running the clock under 4.
2 receivers on both sides of Mangini. Drops back, quick pass. It's a screen to Neeson on the right. Neeson falls forward. I believe he got the first down, and they give him the first. What a big play. A quick pass right out to Neeson. Albright helping him out with the block, and a first down for St. James.
St. James here reaching the red zone. Definitely what you want to see on this drive. Definitely choked a lot of minutes off this clock. 4.5 minutes left to go in this game. Just want to keep on running, get some points, and force them to try to make a comeback.
St. James, like you said there, Graham, they're really running a lot of time off this clock. If they even don't put up points being up 2 scores, you got to feel good with where you're at, but the points would really put it away. Mangini is still the quarterback. 3 on the left, 1 on the right. Ball at the right hash. It's going to be a straight power with Mangini. Makes a man miss, falls forward up to the 15-yard line. That gives him a gain of 4. Now we're in that point in the game with just 4.5 minutes left. Bobcats have all 3 timeouts. You got to wonder when they're going to start using them because they got to be getting real nervous right now with how St. James is moving the football.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we said that what St. James needed was a drive that kills the clock, and they've killed about half the time that was left when they got the ball. They got it around 8:30, and it's down. The clock just dips under 4 as we speak. And, yeah, you're right. Well, if you're Baser, you know, I think these timeouts are going to be used soon, trying to stop the clock and give yourself, you know, a chance to make a comeback if you were to stop them here.
2 receivers on both sides, ball on the right hash again. It's going to be a run to the right now. Going farther outside is Mangini. Flag comes in. It's going to be right at the marker where St. James got the run there, but you got to think a hold is coming now with where that flag was thrown. That would move St. James back quite a bit and would take away a lot of the successful momentum they've had this drive. St. James is moving back. I think they kind of know it's on them here. Hold will be called, so St. James is going to back up a fair bit here to the 25-yard line. That's a 9-yard loss from where they were at. So now a 2nd and 16 for the Thunder with just 3:40 left. Baser sounds like they're mad about the holding call on St. James. Not really sure why they're frustrated about that, but 2nd down and 15 now for the Thunder offense. They are going to have the ball on the right hash. The clock is rolling right now. We're under 3:30. Mangini running the same play, running to the right, darts up forward, still on his feet. He's taking a linebacker for a ride there up to the 20-yard line. He gets 5 on the carry, and now it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 for St. James.
Still no timeout from Baser. You got to think that after this 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, they're going to start using them to just try to stop the clock. About to dip under 3 minutes with the Thunder up by 11. You know, daylight is fading fast if you're the Bobcats.
Yeah, and if you're Baser, you need a big play here, Rand. I mean, that's the only shot you really got. If you had a turnover of some sort, maybe a big sack that moves St. James into a difficult field goal, that's the only real chance you have right now. They need to try to get it here. Bunch on the left. It's going to be a carry by Mangini going to his left. He has a 1st down and more, spins forward inside the 10, and he takes it. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Francis Mangini gives the dagger to the Bobcats.
And Mangini's elusiveness just helps him find the end zone there, putting up 6 points on the board and just about putting the nail in the coffin here in this game.
Exactly. 37-19, assuming this PAT is up and true. And that's just about seals the deal for the Thunder on really one of the uglier games they've played this year. But, you know, they find a way to get it done. They persevere, and they're able to pull out a win.
PAT up and true for the Thunder, so score 37 St. James, 19 Bobcats. And the result in the other game, Blue Valley North 41-14 victory in their game, so St. James assuming they can pull out this win up 18 with just 2.5 minutes left. They will be facing off against Blue Valley North. Now, this is a Blue Valley North team St. James has beat once this year. They came into the playoffs 1-7. Now with 2 straight wins, definitely peaking at the right time under their first-year head coach. Should be a challenge in that one. St. James, oddly enough, will host the game as the 11 seed. Probably wouldn't have guessed that St. James would have a home game, but they will get to host that game. So we don't know where that game will be at yet, but St. James will be hosting against Blue Valley North if they can finish off this last 2.5 minutes here against the Bobcats. Back to return, it's going to be Martin and Gutierrez. Bevitt will be kicking off for the Thunder. It's going to be a squib, almost like an onside kick there. I'm not really sure what St. James thought they were doing there. Charlie Peak recovers it for Baser. I think St. James kind of just wanted to make sure there wasn't a long return for a touchdown. And so the Bobcats will get the ball at the 45 on the left hash to begin.
Definitely a lot of pressure on Carson Dixon here this drive. Definitely probably needs to reach in his bag, maybe pull out a deep ball just to get some points on the board early on here in this drive.
And this is, St. James had this moment against Blue Valley last week, but this is where the pass rushers and DBs are going to be called upon. It's playmaking time for those guys. Let's see what they can do here. St. James back into that three front. Dryling's been playing on the outside in press coverage against receivers a little bit today. Drop back. Three-man rush. Riquette tries to bring him down, misses. Still on his feet. Charlton gets him from behind. It's a gain of a few for Dixon. Clock is still rolling. Ball now at the 48 in Basehor territory on the right hash. They're going hurry up, trying to hurry fast. It's a 3-yard run. There's 2:13 and counting on the clock. Ball about to be snapped on the right hash. It is now. Three-man rush. Dixon, quick pass to the outside, and he is brought down. You do not want to test Aiden Dreiling in space. He brings down Roman Miller for a loss.
Impressive play by Dreiling there in coverage, usually on the edge. Finds himself in coverage, and that gets a nice tackle there for a gain of about 1.
Looked like he lost a yard, if anything, there. Now it's going to be a 3rd down and about 8 here for Basehor. Time is running out, 1:40 and counting. Drop back. 3-man rush again. This is a very high ball, an absolute moonshot, and Hornback takes it. He says, "Thank you very much, Mr. Dixon," and he gets the INT for the Thunder, and that should do it. What a big-time play by Hornback.
Yeah, great play by Hornback there. Dixon kind of throws up a duck, and Hornback just does a nice job getting under it and is able to bring it in for the INT. And that should about seal the deal for St. James. I doubt Basehor's going to try to take their timeouts down 18 points. So St. James should likely just be able to kneel it out, and they'll be moving on to a rematch with the Blue Valley North Mustangs.
Yeah, that should be a good game. Obviously, it's hard to know right now. With Tyson Beshore coming out earlier in the game, that has to be the first thing on your mind as you're looking ahead to next week against the Mustangs. Beshore, obviously a star quarterback. He's led us here in these first 2 playoff victories. He came out earlier with a hamstring run on a big 3rd and 14 run where he slid to the ground. He hurt his hamstring. We haven't seen him back out there. Not really been a reason for him to be out there. So for all we know, he could be fine, and they're just saving him, or he could be seriously injured. We really don't know right now. McGeaney takes the kneel, and Basehor calls the timeout, so they're going to force St. James to either run some plays or give Basehor the ball back. Basehor using the first of their 3 timeouts with 1:27 left in this football game. But like you mentioned, Jonathan, it's going to be a rematch with Blue Valley North, and it's going to be interesting seeing this time around. These 2 teams have improved a lot since then, how they match up against each other in that game.
For sure, and like I said before, it can be tough, playing a team that you're better than. Obviously, St. James beat Blue Valley North earlier this year at Aquinas and beat them 28-0, shut them out. It was really kind of a breakout game for both sides of the ball that sort of led to the Thunder win streak that we've sort of seen through the second half of the season. So should be interesting. I think the Thunder, if they could come out and execute the game plan that they want to execute, play their game, not let Blue Valley North dictate how the game goes, I think they should have some success and move on against the winner of the ever-famous St. Thomas Aquinas Mill Valley game that we've all been talking so much about.
Yeah, that game, I think, St. James Blue Valley North, that's going to be a big game. Obviously, we'll be broadcasting that here on the Thunder Broadcasting Network, but that game is going to mean so much. We'll talk about that in a moment. And Guiney's going to give now to the back. I believe that's Puhala, falls forward, gets 1 or 2. Basehor's going to call the timeout again. But like we mentioned, that Mill Valley St. Thomas Aquinas game, those are 2 of the best teams in this state. 5A, 6A, any level. Those 2 teams are absolute powerhouse programs. Mill Valley's won, I believe, 4 straight state titles. They've been dominant. 5, I believe, in 5A. They've been super dominant at that level. Aquinas hasn't lost all year, and it just really feels like they have been on a collision course all year long, and they're going to meet in the state semi-final or quarterfinals, rather. That game certainly is going to be a big one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'll be a really good game. Obviously, like you said, Aquinas undefeated this year. They've really been able to impose the will on every team they play, but Mill Valley, just a powerhouse. You don't win 5 straight for no reason. They've got multiple D1 players on their football team. I think it'll either be a real shootout or it'll be a really low-scoring game, and it'll be interesting to see who's able to prevail.
It's 3rd down and 10 now. St. James going to have to run the ball once again with Basehor calling their timeouts. He's going to give to Puhala. He moves forward. Great blocking. He's going to get right to the marker. Falls a yard short. 3rd timeout called by Basehor. That game really does feel like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. The 9-0 Aquinas team, the 5 state titles from Mill Valley. One of those things is going to have to break, and it'll be super fun to see what it is. But The other thing you obviously have to think about, that game is going to lead to the St. James or Blue Valley North winner playing them as well. Now, those teams both will be heavy underdogs if they play in that next game in the state semis against Mill Valley or Aquinas, and that's going to be a real big game as well when you're looking at the full playoff picture here as potentially where you could see the big upset. We haven't seen a huge upset yet outside, I guess, of maybe Blue Valley North taking down DeSoto in the 5A state playoff picture. But there's definitely an opportunity for North or St. James to get that big upset win against whichever one of those teams were to win that game.
For sure, and I don't really think anyone is expecting that. You know, obviously I picked before the season that Mill Valley was not going to win this year, so I can't believe I'm about to say this, but actually no, I'm not going to root for Aquinas. No, Mill Valley is going to beat Aquinas. They have to. I'm not going to pick Aquinas, but then they're going to lose at a different time. And you will be wrong, Will. You said they were going to go undefeated and win a state title, and not only have they not won, but they have lost to Lee Summit North.
Still could have that state title win. We'll have to see on that part of it. But, yeah, they did not go undefeated like I predicted. St. James just got a QB sneak for a first down on the 4th down, and so that will ice this football game. No timeouts for Basehor, just one play left, and St. James will get the victory here against the Basehor-Linwood Bobcats 37-19. Graham, what have you seen from St. James that you think has really encouraged you in this big victory?
Definitely remaining steadfast on both sides of the ball, just remaining consistent, putting up points and getting stops consistently throughout the game. There's never really a point, except for a couple of major minor plays, that St. James just fell apart. Didn't really happen at all.
No, I agree with Graham. It really is incredible looking at the scoreboard that St. James has put up 37 points. I mean, it feels like it has been such a sloppy game with so many mistakes on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. But to come away still putting up almost 40 points and winning by 18, like Graham said, just shows the resilience from the St. James team. And they'll move forward to face Blue Valley next week. So it'll be interesting to see, how this win carries over to next week. But great job by the Thunder of getting it done this week.
Absolutely. You have to give Basehor-Linwood a lot of credit today as well. St. James made a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes, but Basehor-Linwood, for the most part, took advantage of a lot of them. And, yeah, I give them credit for the passion and fire they played with. They put together a nice football game. Obviously, a great season ending in their second loss tonight against St. James. A really nice performance by Basehor just isn't enough against the Thunder. So St. James is going to win this one 37-19. If you're still listening at this point, we thank you for sticking with us through all of our difficulties throughout the night. We will be back next week, St. James versus Blue Valley North. We can't wait to broadcast that game for you on the Thunder Broadcasting Network. For Graham Warner and Jonathan May, I'm Will Nichols. Thank you so much for listening tonight, and go Thunder.